Hello class, today we're going to learn how to write inequalities into interval notation. So first to start, let's recall the infinity signs. So we're going to have negative infinity and positive infinity. So now that we have that covered, let's look at what an interval notation looks like. So we're going to write an interval notation for the whole number line, which would be negative infinity, comma, positive infinity. And notice here that they're only in rounded parentheses because negative infinity and infinity go on forever and ever, so you cannot include them. So let's practice and see what happens when x is greater than a number. So we're not going to include that number, and since x is bigger than that number, it goes off to infinity, which is not included. So what happens when we have x is greater than or equal to that number? Well, now we're going to include that number. So the way you write an interval notation that includes the number is with a square bracket. So we're going to have square bracket, the number, comma, positive infinity, rounded parentheses because you don't include the infinities. So let's practice with some real numbers now. And we'll say x is less than 3. So the way to write this is, since you don't have equals to in your inequality, it's going to be negative infinity, since x is less than 3, all the way up to the number 3. So now for another example, we'll do x is greater than or equal to 4. So now that you see that we have greater than or equal to, 4 is going to be included in our interval notation. So we're going to write square bracket 4, since it's included, comma, infinity, rounded parentheses, since you don't include the infinity symbol. Also, as we saw before when we were working with the number line, you can have problems such as this, where 3 is less than x is less than or equal to 7. You could also write this in interval notation as well. So 3 is not included, so we're going to have a parenthesis, comma, 7. Since 7 is included, we're going to have a square bracket. And this says that x is anywhere between a number greater than 3 and less than or equal to 7. So if we take the previous example as well, and we change it around and say that x is less than 3 and x is greater than or equal to 7, you can write this in interval notation as well. So you want to take each one at a time. So let's start with x is less than 3. To write this, we start with negative infinity all the way up to 3, not included. And since we have the word and, we want to write the union symbol, which is just a u, and then take our other inequality, x is greater than or equal to 7, and write it this way, square bracket 7, since it's greater than or equal to, all the way up to positive infinity, and that's not included. And that's how you write inequalities in interval notation. So I hope you enjoyed this short tutorial. Please continue on with the rest of the lesson, complete the homework assigned, and the project assigned as well.